So we now come on to the national class, and there is a few familiar faces for me from the Euro Trophy. On pole position will be the 2:11 of Valentin Klus. Then it's the 2:13 of Enrico Förderer alongside on the front row. Then Lukas Scherbinskas in the 2:17 will have Farin Mega in the 2:45 alongside Linus Henson and Leo Arndt in the 2:01 and the 2:08. That rounds out row number 3. Noah Gabriel Vogler and Finn Zulauf in the 2:22 and the 2:47. That's row number 4 with Denny Bernd and Hannes Border in the 2:42 and the 2:06, rounding out the top 10. Corben Hillebrands in the 2:41, Dominik Reuters in the 2:20, Luca Kiefer in the 2:09, Noah Engler in the 2:03, Paul Koch in the 2:12, and Raffaele Basile in the 2:02 rounds out the 16 strong. You think that the club one, the junior club class race was a bit of a doozy. This one I think is going to do just the same here, because we have some drivers that have been competing both nationally and internationally in this class, with the likes of Klus, Mega, Scherbinskas, Henson amongst others. So there is some definitive pedigree in this class here amongst with all the other competitors. So we are now trying to get them into formation, and that is definitely the most spread out formation, I think, as they're trying to get them to slow down. So we've got Klus on pole with Förderer alongside. So it's Klus, Förderer, Scherbinskas, Mega, Henson, Arndt, Vogler, Zulauf, Bernd and Border. That is your top 10. So they come around the final corner. Looks like Raffaele Basili coming into position now as they let them go, as one's already pulled to the side, and that is the 2:13 of Enrico Förderer, who broke down on the line. And it looks like the chain is gone. Yeah, the chain completely slack. So the chain looks to have gone there. So they're just pushing the cart out of the way. So nice quick response by Camilla Hossinger and his team, getting the cart off of the circuit very, very quickly indeed to keep the action underway here at Kerpen. So they're coming through the back part of the circuit now. As they go into the left-hander, which puts them onto the Schumacher chicane. Leading them is Scherbinskas in the 2:17. Looks like Linus Henson, I think, judging by that colour scheme, is up into P2. Which is the case. So Scherbinskas, Henson, Farin Mega now up into P3. Looks to be an overtake a little bit further down the order between 6th and 7th. Or maybe even make that 5th, as you've got. That is the 2:42 of Denny Bent. I think it's just gone up the inside into P5 through the turn 2 180-degree hairpin. So they're now starting to get to grips with the pace that they're setting at the moment. And Scherbinskas on the first lap put in a 52.950. As everyone's starting to squabble behind, as now Farin Mega has got past Linus Henson for second position. Henson goes wide and loses out, now drops to 4th behind the 2:11 of Valentin Klus, and has got right on the back bumper Finn Zulauf in the 2:47. So Scherbinskas now, there's a little bit of sideways action there with Linus Henson involved, and someone saying to him, what was that? But the thing is that Linus might have just outbraked himself there going into that hairpin. So if you try and go up the inside and try and do an imitation of Daniel Ricciardo, one or two things will happen. It'll work or it won't pay off. And for Linus Henson, it's bumped him down out of the top 5. So Scherbinskas starting to pull away, but it's just dependent on how soon Farin Mega will pull the pin on the grenade and start chasing down the leader, as the triple two of Vogler looks to be now in what is 4th place, and has got right behind the 2:06 of Hannes Border for close company. And they were separated by just 78 thousandths of a second going across line. More positional changes happening and that is for 4th and 5th place. So it looks like Border's done the move on Vogler through turn 2 at the hairpin. And looks like we've got another retiree as well, along with Enrico Föderer. We've got Corbin Hillebrands in the 241. Also not taking any further participation in the race, but the top 3 look to be a little bit closer now. And then if you look at where P5 is, there is going to be 6 carts squabbling over the 5th position on the circuit. So Scherbenskass's lead is being truncated by Mega. It was down to 1 second. It's now down to 4/10. So Mega and Zulauf now closing on the leader. Lukas Scherbenskas and Fahin Mega now really doing a great job of doing the right thing in terms of braking. As Vogler has one sent up the inside by Valentin Klus in the 211. Looks to be for around about 6th place. So we've got 7 minutes and 9 seconds of this race still to go. But Scherbenskas quickly coming under pressure from the likes of Fahin Mega and Finn Zulauf. And they are literally line astern, going through the left, heading into the Schumacher chicane. So Scherbenskas holding on, and both Mega and Zulauf look to be on the point of adhesion. It's Mega versus Scherbenskas side by side across the stripe. But Mega does the sensible thing there and pulls towards the outside, goes back in, now goes up the inside of Scherbenskas into the turn 2 hairpin. The 245 makes the move, but up the inside of the pair of them goes Finn Zulauf. Mega reasserts himself and regains the lead of the race with Scherbenskas just ahead of Finn Zulauf. So great battle at the front of the field. They were separated by just 0.185 of a second over the line last time around, and it's still not over yet by quite a long shot. But whilst they're battling, Hannes Border has been like the silent junior national assassin in this race, as Hannes is closing up on the 3 in front, as Fahin Mega now has the lead, and Scherbenskas goes side by side with Zulauf. Scherbenskas keeps the inside run through the corner. Zulauf could send it up the inside into the turn 2 hairpin. Thinks better off it, but this is allowing Hannes Border to close up. And Border put in the fastest lap of the race last time around, a 49.108. As Zulauf tries to go up the inside of Scherbenskas. I think that was probably through turn 6. So Scherbenskas definitely, well, as Zulauf gets a hit from behind, a slight hit from behind by Hannes Border. So Border's going to have to watch that, because otherwise if it's a drop down, it's an automatic 5-second penalty. So Fahin Mega continues to lead ahead of Lukas Scherbenskas. Then it is Finn Zulauf, then Hannes Border. A little bit further back we go, and it's Dominik Heuters in the 220 who's in P5, as Linus Henson and Valentin Klus were going side by side for position. It's all kicking off at the front as Scherbenskas now retakes the lead. Mega down into P4. Looks like Zulauf is now in. It was trying to go for the lead, maybe. So Scherbenskas holds on briefly, but he's not in the lead anymore, as it is the 2:06 of Hannes Border. Hannes Border now makes his way to the front of the field and leads a 4-cart squabble over what is going to be the victory here in this first of 2 junior national races. As now Fahin Mega gets past the 247 of Finn Zulauf. So Mega now up into P3 behind Scherbenskas, with Border now trying to pull away from the 245 and has done so to the tune of around about 0.6 of a second. And Hannes Border on the last, well, not the lap that's just been completed, but the one before, went nearly sub 49 seconds in the process. 4 minutes plus an additional lap. Running order is as follows. Hannes Border and Lukas Scherbenskas are leading the way, first and second respectively, closely followed by Fahin Mega, who has to put on the anchors quite quickly, as does Finn Zulauf, who rounds out the top 4. Then it's about 2.4 seconds back to Dominik Heuters, and then you've got Valentin Klus, Linus Henson, Denny Bount, Leo Arndt, and Noel Gabriel Vogler, who rounds out the top 10. Luca Kiefer, Raffaele Basili, Paul Koch, and also Noah Engler round out the 14 that are still circulating, with both Forderer and Hillebrands rounding out, the only 2 retirements as Mega goes up the inside of Scherbenskas through turn 2. Zulauf trying to pounce on the 217 as well. Has to slot back into position into 4th place. So Border, whilst the 3 are trying to battle behind, but Mega is now on level pace in terms of the lap times. As I've just had a look, that Farin Mega was only 22 100ths of a second slower than Hannes Border, but seems to have it hooked up in the fast momentum corners. And he is closing on the 206 as they go through the left. That leads them into the Schumacher chicane here before the final left-hander here at Kerpen. Mega was looking very close up the inside of Hannes Border for the lead. And Scherbinskas is pulling along Finn Zulauf for close company. And Zulauf goes towards the inside run on Scherbinskas for 3rd place into the turn 2 hairpin as Mega goes up the inside of Border to take the lead. Nice work by the 245, and it's nearly side by side between Zulauf and Scherbinskas. And Scherbinskas has to slot back into 4th place behind Finn Zulauf. I'm just keeping an eye on what's going on behind, because Dominic Heuters has been getting quicker and quicker and was actually the 2nd quickest out of the top 5 and is only 2.2 seconds behind those in front. But as we've got one driver pulling into the pit lane there, unfortunately, that's Luca Kiefer. As now again, Border trying to slingshot his way past Farin Mega and is bump drafting Mega along and sends it up the inside into turn 2. So the 206 up the inside of the 245. But Mega's quickly on the switchback, bangs wheels there with the 206, and this allows Finn Zulauf to go up the inside of Farin Mega through the inside of turn number 3, which again puts the 247 in clear contention for the victory, along with the one in front and the one behind. So Farin Mega needs to get the bit between the teeth and get going and try to make sure that no mistakes happen. So, looks like Hannes Border is back in the lead, but Finn Zulauf now up into 2nd position and has Farin Mega and Lukas Scherbinskas for close company as we go into the last 55 seconds, plus an additional lap. It's now going to be a momentum drag fest down into turn 2 as Mega sends it up the inside, nearly clatters into the side of Zulauf there as Scherbinskas pounces and mugs the pair of them through turn 2 and makes the move complete by turn 3. Back into 2nd position goes Scherbinskas as Farin Mega loses out to P3 from Zulauf through turn 4. And now right behind them, they have got... Just keeping an eye there, because it's quite interesting to see that who is... When people are battling away, there's always one that comes from a long way back, and that looks to be the 220. Dominic Heuters now is in with a chance of a top 3 finish, as Hannes Border crosses the line with a gap, an advantage of 1.5 seconds between himself and Lukas Scherbinskas. Finn Zulauf in 3rd. As Scherbinskas trying to battle away with Finn Zulauf for 2nd position. This is going to allow Farin Mega and also Dominic Heuters into this battle. So we're now on to the penultimate lap of the race, and Border is quite literally getting away from the rest of the opposition, who are squabbling over the scraps on the dinner table. So Hannes Border this time comes through the flat left, which leads onto the Schumacher chicane for the penultimate time. As at the moment, Finn Zulauf is ahead of Lukas Scherbinskas, who is in turn ahead of Farin Mega. Now Dominic Heuters joins the party as Mega goes up the inside of Scherbinskas to take P3 on the penultimate lap of the final lap of the race as they cross the start-finish line. But watch out for Dominic Heuters. Reuters, I think, could be the surprise here. As Scherbinskas, and Heuters goes very wide and goes sideways, nearly going into the approach into the turn 2 hairpin. So that puts the 220 out of contention for at least a top 4 finish. So Border will come through the last part of the circuit very, very shortly. But it's the battle between Zulauf, Mega and Scherbinskas that is the going to be possibly a grandstand finish if Mega can get close to the 247, but doesn't look to be so. Probably about 5 kart lengths adrift as Hannes Border goes through the Schumacher chicane for the final time, round the final left-hander. What a drive from Hannes Border to take the opening win here today here at Kerpen, and takes it by 1.5 seconds as Finn Zulauf takes P2 ahead of Farin Mega in 3rd place. Lukas Scherbinskas, who led quite a big proportion of this race here finished in P4 ahead of Dominik Reuters, who came to fruition in the latter part of the race, started making inroads in, but would ended up P5 at the end of it ahead of Valentin Klus. Linus Henson rounds out the top 7 with Denny Bount in 8th, Leon Arndt in 9th with Noah Gabriel Vogler in 10th position, Paul Koch and Noah Engler and Raffaele Basili round out the 13 that finished, but Hannes Border wins the first junior national club sport race of the day here in Kerpen by 1.55 seconds, and the finishing order is Hannes Border from Finsulauf, Farin Mega, Lukas Scherbinskas, Dominik Reuters, Valentin Klus, Linus Henson, Denny Bount, Leon Arndt, and it looks like Hannes Border is getting some congratulations in the pit lane at the moment. So Leon Arndt and Noel Gabriel Vogler ran out the top 10 ahead of Paul Koch. Noel Engler, Raffaele Basili with Luca Kiefer pulling it into the pits, as I just have seen Enrico Forder start pushing his car towards backwards down the start-finish line, with Corbin Hilbrand's kart now being recovered as the recovery vehicle is now out, going down through turns 1 and 2. So Max, noch eine gute Junior-Nationalrennen bei der Wertungslauf. Was sind deine Gedenknisse über das?
Also es war wieder ein sehr gutes Rennen. Es gab auch 3 Ausfälle, das war jetzt nicht so gut. Aber eigentlich war es ein sehr faires Rennen. Es gab auch viele Fehler von den Fahrern, deswegen haben sich auch vorne die Plätze immer von P1 gewechselt. Und es war aber ein sehr spannendes Rennen.
Danke, Max. So, that's the junior action completed for the morning. We'll have the second of the junior club races at 14:10 local time here.